Hello everyone and welcome back to Sacred Cards. Today I'm going to share my Magistus deck profile. This deck first got released in Genesis Impact a little while back. It's a spellcaster deck that equips cards from your main deck and extra deck. This is a pure 40 card build that does what the deck likes to do. It's a ton of fun and I'm still doing testing and working with the ratios, so stay tuned for future updates. It's not the most competitive deck right now, but we are getting ready for some upcoming support very soon, so I wanted to make sure I had all the cards and learn how the deck works. It's a breath of fresh air to step away from the meta and play something a bit more fun and unique. Also, please be sure to check out the other content and profiles on my channel. I really appreciate all the love and support, and I'm really excited to grow the channel, so I appreciate all the feedback. I'm hoping to order some better lighting in the near future to improve the quality of my videos, so you all get the best experience possible. I got a really messed up setup and I really hate the glare that you get right around here. So anyways, with all that said, I'll go through my deck list and try and explain the cards as best I can. Let's get into it. Starting off the monsters, I play 3 copies of Zeroa, the Magistus of Flame. This card can target any Magistus monster you control and equip it with a Magistus card from your extra deck. Also, if this card is equipped to a Magistus monster, you can special summon a level 4 spellcaster from your hand or graveyard. Next up is 3 copies of Riliona, the Magistus of Vare. One of my favorite cards in the deck. This card has the ability that if it's normal or special summon, you can either add a Magistus spell or trap from your deck to your hand, or you can return a banish level 4 or lower spellcaster from your graveyard. Plus, you can banish this card from your graveyard to equip a Magistus monster you control with a Magistus monster from the graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Endymion, the Magistus of Mastery. This card lets you target any Magistus monster you control and equip it with a Magistus monster from the extra deck, allowing you to gain whatever effect you might want at the time. It also has the ability to target a face-up spell you control and destroy it to draw 1 card and place 1 at the bottom of your deck. So good for cycling through, getting the cards you need. Last of the Magistus monsters is 3 copies of Crowley, the Magistus of Grimoires. This card can special summon itself from the hand by sending a spellcaster monster from your hand or field to the graveyard. It can also change its own attribute to any type you want until the end of the turn, which does come up when making our synchro plays, I believe. Plus, if you banish this card from the graveyard, you can target a Magistus monster you control and equip it with a Magistus monster from your graveyard, similar to Vare. So 3 copies of Crowley. Next up, I have 2 spellcaster tech choices in 1 copy of Adularia of the June Moon and 1 copy of Witchcrafter Golem Maruru. Adularia is a cool choice for this deck because if you have a face-up card in your spell trap zone, you can special summon this card from your hand and it gains 600 attack for each face-up spell or trap on the field. You can also send 2 face-up cards in your spell trap zone to send a level 4 lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. Golem Maruru is great as a 1-of for any spellcaster deck because when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets any of your spellcaster monsters or targets them for an attack, you can special summon this card and return 1 card they control back to the hand. During your opponent's standby phase, this card returns to your hand, allowing you to use this effect again and again. Next, for some hand traps, I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, 1 copy of Droll, and 1 copy of Ghost Bell. These are just good generic hand traps, and you can swap these in and out for whatever you want to play. This is just a lineup I've enjoyed while testing and working with the deck. Well, that is it for the monsters. Now moving on to the spells, starting off with 3 copies of Trismegistus. Now this continuous spell that has the effect that first time each Magistus monster with an equipped card would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. Plus once per turn, you can either special summon a level 4 spellcaster from your hand, or you can send this face-up card, or face-up spell, to the graveyard and special summon any number of Magistus monsters with different names from your hand. Just a really good card all around from the deck, giving you protection and free special summons from hand. Next, I play 3 copies of Magistus Theurgy. I think I'm pronouncing that right. This quick play spell lets you equip a Magistus monster you control with a Magistus monster from your field, graveyard, or extra deck. Just another way to gain the effect of whatever you might want at the time. Plus, if you have at least one each Magistus Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster in your graveyard, you can equip a non-Magistus monster from your extra deck instead. Next is 3 copies of Magistus Invocation. Now, you don't necessarily need 3 copies, but I do really like seeing this card. Plus, we also play Desires in this deck to increase our consistency. So, this card gives you access to the Fusion monster we play in the extra deck, which has a super powerful effect. Plus, since you're Fusion summoning a Magistus monster, you can use materials from your spell or trap zone. Oh, geez, forgive me. I think I got a little something in my throat. Might have caught something here. But we'll tough it out. Last up for the Magistus spells is 3 copies of Magistus Vritra. This is kind of like your Monster Reborn for the deck, letting you special summon a level 4 lower Magistus monster in the graveyard. It also has the ability that if a Magistus card or cards in your spell trap zone would be destroyed, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. So really like having that effect. Now for the non-Magistus spells, I play 3 copies of Spell Power Mastery. I like this card in the deck because it lets you search your copy of Endymion from deck to hand. Sometimes you just need to see a Magistus monster to get your plays going. So just a good card all around there. Good searcher. And next, for consistency and draw power, play 2 copies of Plot of Desires. Now, we play a ton of 3-ofs, so this card really helps to get to the cards you need. I know this card went to 3, and you can totally play 3 if you like. In my personal opinion, I've always found 2 copies to be the perfect number for Desires, so I never really did mind when it got semi-limited before. Now for the last card in the main deck is just 1 copy of Instant Fusion. This is just to complement a small Relinquish package in the extra deck, or whatever targets you may want to include. Well, that is it for the main deck. I'm really happy with this build for now, but I'm also doing testing with Performage cards. Witch of the Black Forest is a good option. Gigabyte, Secret Village of the Spellcasters are all good cards to use. I may cut out Desires and cut down the ratios on some of the Magistus spells to include these. But yeah, I mean, that's the best part about Yu-Gi-Oh! Build the deck the way you want it to be. Whatever makes you happy at the end of the day is what it's all about. Anyways, that being said, let's move on to the extra deck, kicking things off with our beautiful quarter century rare, Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden. This Link 1 monster can be made with any level 4 or lower spellcaster monster and has the ability that if another Magistus monster is normal or special summoned while you control this card, you can target one of those monsters and equip this card to it. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can add a Magistus monster from your deck to your hand. Next is 2 copies of the Fusion monster, Iwas, the Magistus Spell Spirit. While this is an equipped card, that monster gains 1000 attack and defense. It also has the ability that during the main phase, quick effect, you can target a monster on the field and equip this card to it. And if it's an opponent's monster, you can take control of it. It can't activate its effects, of course, but it's really nice for interrupting your opponent. Now for the Synchro monsters, I play 2 copies of Zoroa, the Magistus Conflagrant Calamity. Really love this card. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can equip it with a monster from your extra deck. It also locks down your opponent from activating monster effects with the same type as the ones in your spell or trap zones, being either Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monsters. Plus, if this card is in your graveyard, you can destroy a Magistus card you control to special summon this card back. So one for the field, one for equipping, whatever you like. Next is 2 copies of Ram, the Magistus Divinity Dragon. While this is an equip card, the equipped monster can't be destroyed by spell trap effects. Also, if this Synchro Summon card is destroyed, you can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. Plus, at the start of the damage step, if a monster this card is equipped to battles, you can destroy that opponent's monster. Really powerful effect. Love that card. For the Xyz, I play 2 copies of Riliona, the Wondrous Magistus Witch Wardrobe. You can detach a material from this card to special summon a Magistus monster from your deck. It also has the ability that if this card is equipped to a monster, you can target a monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Really good for negating problematic monsters. The other Xyz monster I play is 2 copies of Ninaruru, the Magistus Glass Goddess. While this is an equip card, the monster can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can also detach a material, then target a level 4 or higher spellcaster monster in the graveyard and add it back to your hand. Plus, while this card is equipped to a monster, you can target a Magistus card in your spell trap zone and 1 card in your opponent's spell trap zone and destroy them. Now for the last non-Magistus monsters to round out the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Thousand Eyes Restrict, 1 copy of Relinquished Anima, and 1 copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. Thousand Eyes Restrict is your instant fusion target, allowing you to equip an opponent's monster to it. Relinquished Anima is here to let you link off your copy of Thousand Eyes, since it will be destroyed during the end phase. 2 instant fusions effect, and steal another one of your opponent's monsters. This package is really good for breaking down big boards, especially if your opponent isn't careful with their zone placement. And Savage Dragon is a really nice option to go into. Plus, if you equip your copy of Artemis to this card, Artemis will get its effect to search a Magistus card while giving your Savage Dragon a negate to use against your opponent. Well, that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, feel free to leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did, and subscribe for more content. Thank you all for your support, and enjoy the Sacred Cards. See you all in the next one.